Alrighty, let's get going. There's 30 of you at the moment, so let's begin. Welcome, good afternoon to the Move at Work session. I'm James from Imagine Fitness, and I'm here to just take you through a few stretches and mobility drills. Hopefully, most of you have joined me in the past, so you'll be familiar with what's going to happen. Just before we begin, I just wanted to get people to open up the chat and just pop in on a scale of 1 to 5 how they're feeling today. 1 is flat, 3 is good, and 5 being amazing, I could take on the world. So just somewhere on there, on your scale, just kind of open up the chat, pop me in 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, with 1 being flat, 3 being good, and 5, I could take on the world. Okay, good. Okay, so we'll get everybody to stand up, make sure you've got a bit of space around you. We're not going to do a lot of moving around, but just make sure there's nothing that you're going to trip over. And we're just going to begin with some arm circles just to warm the body and the joints up. So we're just going to start with some small arm circles going forwards. Good, and then we'll switch the direction and going backwards. Okay, and again the switch to forwards. That's good, and backwards. Good. Okay, one more switch into forwards. It's good, and the last switch backwards. Okay, nice. Then we're going to move down to the hips. So feet shoulder width apart. Place your hands on your hips. Just going to do some hip circles in one direction. Switch the directions around. Good, and I'll switch again. Good, and one last switch. Okay, so then we'll move down to the knees. So bring your feet in a bit closer together. Place your hands on your knees. And we're going to do some small circles with those knees. Going in one direction, and then switch going in the opposite. Okay, another switch. And switch again. It's good, and that's the last with the circles. Okay, so we're going to take hands out nice and wide, and you're going to take your right foot up to meet your left hand in the middle of your body, and then your left foot to meet your right hand. So we'll just alternate feet to hands. It's good, another few seconds in here. So we're just getting all these joints through the body moving. Okay, it's good. So next up, we're going to put our hands up so they're by the side of our ears into a W position, elbows tucked down, and you want to try and push your shoulders back so that your hands are behind your ears. From here, we're going to go from a W, moving up into an I, trying to keep those shoulders pushed back and the elbows behind the ears, and then coming back into that W position. Nice and controlled. Up again into the I. You may not quite have the flexibility or range of movement to be able to keep your elbows and your arms behind your ears the whole time, which is completely fine. It's good. Just keep these going. We'll do another 2 of these. Squeeze your shoulder blades together at the back. It's good. And then relax out of there for a second. We'll do another one for the chest. So we're going to bring the hands up either side of your face, elbows level with the ground. Going to open that chest up, squeeze the shoulder blades together at the back, and bring it back in. This is one of my favorite exercises for people who spend a lot of time sitting down with everything in front of them. It opens up the chest, gives you a nice stretch through in here, and engages the muscles in the middle of the back, which is fantastic for the posture. So we'll do another 3 of those, nice and slow and controlled. Last one, gonna have a big squeeze of the shoulder blades at the back, and then slowly into the front. So just relax in there. Next up, I'm going to take us down to the ground, We'll be on our knees for a little bit. If your knees are sore on the ground, bring in a cushion or something along those lines to rest them on. So we're just going to start essentially in all fours, hands directly underneath your shoulder. You can take your left hand, give yourself a hug, and then you're going to take that left hand and push it up to the ceiling, opening your chest up and back down, okay? So give us a hug again. And open up all the way to the top, big stretch through. We're going to do 6 of these on each side. There's number 3. It's good, big hug. Open up the chest. This is number 5. Look up to the ceiling as well whilst you're doing this. And last one on this side for number 6. Good, and then just relax. Rock back for a moment before coming back into position. This time I'm going to take the opposite hand, give yourself a big hug, open up the side, stretch towards the ceiling. You may find you're a bit tighter on one side than the other, a little bit less range of movement. It's completely normal. There's 3 of those. Again, we're going to go for 6. Big hug. Pointed up to the ceiling. It's number 5. Give that hug last time and take it up to the ceiling again. That's number 6. Okay, so from here we're going to lie down on our backs. Just going to adjust my camera slightly so you can see me properly. Feet flat on the ground, back nice and flat. You're going to place your palms to the ceiling. And we're just going to raise those hips up to the sky or up to the ceiling. Hold it at the top for a couple of seconds. You should feel the hamstrings, which is the muscles on your back of your leg, and your glutes, your bottom, working or engaging. Again, we'll just do 6 of these. Keep the head nice and relaxed. Pushing up, squeeze and engage your glutes and the hamstrings. 2 to go by my count. Good, and 1 more. And then relax. So this next exercise is designed to open up the hips. There's 2 versions of it. The first one is to be in a push-up position, and then you're going to take your right foot and put it as close to your right hand as you can, and then switch back, and then take your left foot and put it next to your left hand as far as you can. If you feel comfortable with that as an exercise, keep those going. If you can't, if it's not a comfortable exercise, I want you to bring in a chair. Assume that push-up position again with the chair. Take that right foot, put it next to the right leg of the chair. And back. Should feel a really nice stretch through your hips in here. Hold each one for 3 to 5 seconds. And then we'll do another couple. So if you can't manage those on the ground, the chair is a fantastic way of just taking some of the weight off the body so you can do those exercises a bit more easily. So we're just going to move down to our ankles next. Going to stand with your feet shoulder width apart, feet flat on the ground. I'm just going to raise up onto your tiptoes. Hold it for a couple of seconds, and then we're going to go lower back down, get the weight on our heels and lift our toes off the ground. And then we're going to go back up onto our tiptoes, hold it for a couple of seconds, rocking back down, lift those toes, off the ground. We'll go for 6 of these. Great for ankle mobility. Coming up. Back down. Weight through the heels. Lift the toes up off the ground. 2 to go. That's good. Back down. 1 more. Hold it nice and high. Rocking back down. And lift and relax. So the last exercise that we'll go through is a stretch for the hamstrings, and we're going to relax all of the muscles through in the back. And so we're going to start with feet shoulder width apart. Tilt your head forwards and slowly, one at a time, unstack the vertebrae, coming down. So you feel a stretch through your hamstrings. Try and relax the muscles in your back. You're going to take a deep breath in here. Let that out. See if your stretch will go a little bit further. And you're going to slowly lift your hips, straighten your legs, feel some more stretch through in your hamstrings, and slowly coming up, stacking those vertebrae on top of each other one at a time, and a big roll of the shoulders. We'll do another couple of these, feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, tuck the chin in, and slowly release the vertebrae one at a time. Try and relax the muscles through in the back. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it out. Get your stretch to go a little bit further. Then we're going to straighten those legs, get the stretch to the hamstring, and slowly coming up, stacking the vertebrae one at a time on top of each other. Big roll of the shoulders. And we're just going to go through this one last time. So tuck that chin in, folding forwards, nice and slow and controlled. Go down as far as you can. Take a deep breath in. Let the breath out again. And then straighten the legs and slowly coming up. Big roll of the shoulders at the top. Fantastic. So that concludes the stretching and the moving. Whilst you're all here on chat, I'll just get you to pop in on that scale of 1 to 5 how you're feeling now. Hopefully, if you were at sort of 1, 2, or 3, you've maybe moved up the scale a little bit. So just 1 was flat, 3 was good, 5 was can take on the world now. So yeah, just pop that into chat. Let me know if it's improved. And I'm going to hang around and answer any questions that anybody's got for a few minutes.